So it brought to mind this conversation that I had with my late father about his heirloom keris. And I actually wanted him to pass it down to me, but usually heirloom pieces are only passed on to sons. So for me, this story is also the what ifs, trying to think about what are the possible fancy objects that he could have passed on to me throughout his years traveling, as well as when he was a salvage diver. This story is an adventure mystery that follows the trail of a sunken Portuguese carrack called the Flor de la Mar, as well as some treasures that have been hidden for centuries by a secret organization called the Gnostes. It follows the main character, a curator librarian who is based at the Borobudur Archaeological Park, as she tries to uncover the clues to open a combination lock that was left to her by her father. These clues would later lead her to a crossroads with the Gnostes, as well as test her knowledge of ancient religions and old languages. Along the journey, the main character is reunited with an old acquaintance of her father, who gives her an important piece of clue, but at a price. This price includes forging a new but precarious relationship with his protege. This doesn't end too well, because they find themselves landed up imprisoned in a small village off the coast of Sumatra, a place that is well known for practicing cannibalism on all its prisoners. To secure her freedom, she has to enter into an agreement with a member of the Gnostes, which leaves her tangled deeper and deeper into the web of mysteries and conspiracies dotting the history of Southeast Asia. Well, last Christmas, I was in Wales to meet up with a local fisherman because he had found a keris trapped in his fishing net. And I was trying to help him date the keris as well as possibly buy the artifact from him. For me, just the fact that this traditional weapon had sailed all the way from the southern Philippines all the way to a small village in the UK prompted some questions. Who did this belong to? Why was this chosen? And how did it travel all the way across the oceans? So it brought to mind this conversation that I had with my late father about his heirloom keris. And I actually wanted him to pass it down to me, but usually heirloom pieces are only passed on to sons. So for me, this story is also the what ifs, trying to think about what are the possible fancy objects that he could have passed on to me throughout his years traveling, as well as when he was a salvage diver. So one of the books that actually started this map craze of mine is titled Knowledge and Power, that's written by Professor Jeremy Black. So this book sort of revolutionized how I approach the study of colonial maps, because it allowed me to look beyond the content and also to look at representations and how information is being packaged. So the book talks about how societies are being organized because of how information is packaged for readers. So someone, maybe a curator, a librarian, a religious leader, had packaged this information, and that's how it's being passed down to us. And I just love that. Another book that had inspired me is actually The Storyteller's Secret by Sejal Badani, which I had picked up during my editing phase. Now, this book is very conversation heavy and weaves in very personal as well as historical details in the story, which is similar to what I have written. So for me, having connected with this book, I felt that in the future, somebody else too could connect with my book the same way I had felt with Sejal's book.